Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time we ventured through the Relic Passage once again and captured every Pokemon that we missed there on our first visit. And this time we are going to be, of course, doing the same to the lower sections of the Relic Castle. There are 6 rooms down here, 5 of which containing Pokemon that we do not yet have. So I think we shouldn't waste any time because a lot of them are quite rare, so I'd like to just jump right into it. Oh wow, that was really quick. First encounter is a 5% encounter in this area. This is Tortuga. As you might imagine, there are going to be quite a few fossil Pokemon down here. Can't really think of any place more fitting to put them, so let's catch it. Gotcha, Tortuga was caught. Fun fact, early beta artwork suggests that this Pokemon was originally intended to appear in gold and silver. Really interesting stuff. This Pokemon was restored from a fossil. It swam skillfully and dove to depths beyond half a mile. Very nice. I like this Pokemon. I've used it a couple times. Very enjoyable experience. Anyway, onwards to more catching. Aha, here's another one. Actually pretty common in this area at 20% in this room specifically. This is Kofagrigus, a Pokemon that I have never used before in a playthrough, but I feel like I'd really enjoy using. It's a ghost type, it's the evolved form of Yamask, and it's really, really creepy looking. Anyone who's seen the one episode of the anime it was in, it walks on its 4 arms like a spider. That is so creepy! But we caught it, which is super awesome. Grave robbers who mistake them for real coffins and get too close end up trapped inside their bodies. Ugh, eerie stuff, although I suppose in this case it's justified. I mean, it is a coffin after all. Anyhow, onwards. Here it is! That took quite a while. I think I've seen 5 Tortuga by the time this thing showed up, even though they have the same priority of showing up. Anyway, let's catch it. Second throw isn't bad. Out of the 2 Unova fossil Pokemon, this one's probably my favorite. Not sure why. It was revived from an ancient fossil. Not able to fly, it lived in treetops and hopped from one branch to another. Very cool. I think you're beginning to sense a pattern here of what we're going to be finding down here. Anyway, that is the last Pokemon that appears in this room. However, I mentioned that there are multiple rooms. If we head over here, there is a completely new set of Pokemon in this particular room that I want to grab. So, let's see if we can get them. Here's one. This is Lileep. This is basically the Hoenn room in terms of fossils. Lileep, I think, has historically been the least popular Hoenn fossil, and you're probably going to see why when we encounter the next one. However, this one's pretty unique in that it's part grass type. I don't think any other fossil has that distinction. And we caught it, first throw. Very good. It lived on the seafloor 100 million years ago and was reanimated scientifically. Of course, all of these entries act as though you obtained them as a fossil and got them revived, but obviously, as this is a hack, that isn't necessarily going to be the case. Aha, here we go. Anorith is the other fossil Pokemon of Hoenn that we can find here. This one is rock bug type, and it evolves into this crazy dinosaur looking thing, which probably easily explains why it's the more popular of the 2. There we go, Anorith was caught, and that completes our Hoenn fossil collection. Very nice. A Pokemon ancestor that was reanimated from a fossil. It lived in the sea and hunted with claws. Very cool, very nice stuff. Alrighty, still working on box 10 there. Not sure, we might get to box 11 before we're done with all these catchings. Anyway, now we are on to the central room, which once again has 2 more Pokemon that I want to get. That was actually pretty quick. Here we have Aerodactyl. This Pokemon is interesting because it is the only quote-unquote third fossil introduced. Generation 1 had 3 fossils, and Aerodactyl you could only get far later in the game than the other 2. Let's catch it. Very nice. Aerodactyl was caught. Another thing of note, this is the only fossil Pokemon that does not evolve. However, as of Generation 6, it can Mega Evolve. A Pokemon that roamed the skies in the dinosaur era. Its teeth are like saw blades. I think we all know a particular 10-year-old that is very much familiar with that phenomenon. Either way, one more. Here it is. Sheesh, that took a while. This is Darmanitan. Now, I know what you guys are thinking, and I'm thinking it also. This thing is programmed to appear in its Zen mode form. However, I have no idea if it can even have its Zen mode ability when caught like this. So I have to wonder if it's going to spontaneously transform back into regular Darmanitan. Plus, on top of that, even if it did have its Zen mode ability, it only kicks in under half health, which it clearly is not. Ah well. When one is injured in a fierce battle, it hardens into a stone-like form, as seen here. Then it meditates and sharpens its mind. Really weird stuff. No idea why this thing is programmed to show up like this. But ah well, we got it, either way. Anyway, now we are heading off to the next room. 1 Pokemon to find in here. If my list is correct, let's get on it. Here it is. Ammonite is the 1 Pokemon I want to find in this room. As you can imagine, Kabuto is also found in this room, but anyone who's been following along would know that we caught one of those already on our first visit here. Anyway, let's catch it. Very nice, 1 throw. Ammonite was caught. A Pokemon that was resurrected from a fossil using modern science. It swam in ancient seas. Very cool. Alrighty, 1 more room left here, aside from Volcarona's room, but we have every Pokemon in Volcarona's room, so this is, for our intents and purposes, the last room. 2 Pokemon to find in here by process of elimination. I bet you guys can guess which they are. Let's find them. Here's one. Here we have Shieldon. This is the Generation 4 fossil Pokemon room. Shieldon is really defensive, but I've never actually used one, I don't think, so I guess I can't really speak as to its usability. Very nice. Shieldon was caught. Wasn't too terribly painful. It is outstandingly armored. As a result, it can eat grass and berries without having to fight. Wouldn't that be nice? I wish I could eat grass and berries without having to fight. Anyway. Aha, bingo! Last Pokemon we want to find here is Cranidos. Probably the more popular of the 2 Sinnoh starters because it's based after I don't know if it's based after exactly a T-Rex, but it's close enough. Fun fact, I think this is the only fossil Pokemon that is single-typed. Interesting bit of trivia. And we caught it. Very nice. That is the last fossil Pokemon. We now have every single one. A lifelong jungle dweller from 100 million years ago. It would snap obstructing trees with headbutts. Yeah, this thing has quite the cranium, hence its name. Send that one over to box 10, and that will actually do it for all the Pokemon that we can find down here in the Relic Castle. So I think what I want to do is I want to head back to civilization and heal myself up before we head onwards. Now, who has Dig? Goodbye has Dig, that's right. To Driftvale City. Alrighty, here we are back in Driftvale City. Definitely want to heal up my guys because we took quite a beating down there last episode and this one. So I think a heal will do us good. And also, since we were not able to actually buy Pokeballs in between episodes, I'm actually going to do it now. So are we still full on that? Yes. Full on that? Yes. Wow, we only used 42 Pokeballs down, Ultra Balls down there. That's nice. That's really nice. Really impressed that we only used that many considering how many Pokemon we caught. Anyway, we are not actually done yet with this episode, so now I am going to head over to Mistralton Cave. Well, I came in here to check the hidden grotto, and there's an item. Super Repel, very nice. Might come in handy later on. But anyway, we are now here at Mistralton Cave. If we head on in here, there are 2 Pokemon that I want to get in this area. Not very many, actually. Alright, who is it that knows Flash? I know someone knows Flash. Or did I delete it? I guess I deleted it. Oh well, be right back. That was always there, what are you talking about? Ah, thank goodness for infinite TMs. Once we're done in this area, I'll put Thunderbolt back. But anyway, there is one Pokemon I want to get on the first floor of this place. It has a 5% encounter rate, so I don't think we should waste any time. Let's see if we can find it. Aha, there it is. That was actually really quick. This is Dino, which is the first form of the pseudo-legendary Pokemon of the Unova region, which we have not seen yet, but I'm very excited for when we get to it because it's based upon a really cool Japanese legend. Something that isn't exactly apparent when this thing is in its first stage. Really glad this thing showed up quick because the Wynot in here have Shadow Tag, and that can get very annoying very fast. But anyway, let's try catching it. Oh, this D-pad. Gotcha, Dino was caught. Very nice. A lot of people have difficulty pronouncing this thing. I like to try and pronounce it Dino because this evolutionary line is puns upon numbers 1, 2, and 3 in German. Lacking sight, it's unaware of its surroundings, so it bumps into things and eats anything that moves. I'm moving. Stay away from me. Alrighty. That is the rarer of the 2 Pokemon in here down, but the next one doesn't show up unless you're on the 3rd floor, so we're gonna head there right away. Now, wasn't that a beautiful transition? Anyway, now that we are up here in the uppermost floor, I should point out that the document provided with the hack states that Beldum can be found here. However, that is not true. In its place, you can actually find Metang, which is the evolved form of Beldum, which we accidentally happened upon in our first visit here. But anyway, that being said, I need to run out this repel, so... Oh, there it is. Let's see if we can encounter that Pokemon I want to find. Here it is. Lairon is the Pokemon I wanted to find. 20% encounter rate, so shouldn't be difficult at all for anybody to find up in this cave. And of course it uses Protect. Oh well, jump cut to catching it. First throw, very nice. Lairon was caught. Lairon fight over territory, and when their steel bodies collide, sparks fly. Sparks are cool. I really like that. Gives a bit of a world-building thing. Just imagine the Lairons smacking together and sending sparks flying everywhere. Makes the world feel more alive. Anyway, that's actually it for Mistralton Cave. Yeah, not very much at all. So now what we are going to do is we are going to be heading over to the other cave on Route 7. 6. That being Chargestone Cave. Alrighty, here we are in Chargestone Cave. Might as well mention I've already put Thunderbolt back in place of Flash. Didn't want to forget. But anyway, there are 3 Pokemon I want to catch on the first floor of the cave here. However, one of them is far rarer than the others, but its catch rate will actually increase if we go down a floor. So we're going to stay up here and try and catch all 3, but if we get the 2 more common ones before getting the rarer one, we're going to go down a floor just to make things a little bit easier. Anyhow, on to the hunt. That was quick. Here we have Golbat. I was perusing the data for this game earlier in the week, and Golbat appears in a ton of areas in this game. However, I think this is actually the first one in which it appears. So we're going to nip this one right in the bud, and we are going to get right to catching it. There we go, Golbat was caught. Took a little while, but not too terribly bad. Flitting around in the dead of night, it sinks its fangs into its prey and drains a nearly fatal amount of blood. Again, with the Pokédex being overly morbid. Yeah, luckily the next Pokemon we're going after is not nearly as creepy. And speak of the devil, there it is now. This is Nosepass. One really odd thing about Nosepass is that its design changed drastically in between the game where it was introduced in Generation 3 and future games. If you go look up this thing's sprite for Generation 3, it looks surprisingly different. Almost red and green levels of different. I don't know why that is. And also, can we just stop with the Rock Blast thing? I mean, honestly now. Anyway, let's try and catch it. One shot, very good. Nosepass was caught. Now I swear, if this Pokédex entry is as morbid as Golbat's, its magnetic nose always faces north and draws iron objects to its body to protect itself better. Now see, that's a perfectly nice, sane, and not morbid Pokédex entry. I appreciate that. Anyway, we have caught the 2 more common Pokemon up on this floor, which means the remaining one will be more common if we descend a floor. So we are going to do so. And in addition to that, there is one other Pokemon that appears only on this floor that I also want to go after. So let's get started. Aha! Bingo! This is the rarer Pokemon from above that is slightly more common down here. This is Tynamo. I really, really like this Pokemon because it is an electric type with Levitate, which means it has 0 weaknesses unless its ability is suppressed somehow. Really like this idea. Anyway, let's try and catch it. This one's kinda interesting because we actually caught its evolution on our first visit here on the lowest floor, but great capture nonetheless. One alone can emit only a trickle of electricity, so a group of them gathers to unleash a powerful electric shock. Very nice. Now surprisingly, the other Pokemon I want to find on this floor is not electric type in any way, shape, or form. What is it? Well, you're gonna have to wait until after this conveniently timed jump cut to find out. Bingo! Here's the other Pokemon we want. It is Heatmore. Already mentioned this thing on our first visit here because it is the quote-unquote rival of Durant. I really like the whole Durant Heatmore thing. It's quite similar to the Zangoose Seviper thing from Generation 3. And I think it's really fun how these unrelated Pokemon can have, I guess, ecological relations with each other, even if they're not related by evolution. I feel like it helps world build a little bit. Anyway, let's try and catch it. Nice. Heatmore was caught. One more turn I might have been done for. This thing has a powerful Flame Burst attack. It draws in air through its tail, transforms it into fire, and uses it like a tongue. It melts Durant and eats them. Yeah. Really morbid when you think about it. Again, with morbidity in the Pokédex. Anyhow, there is one more Pokemon I want to get, and it only appears on the bottom floor of the cave. What is it? Well, you're just gonna have to wait and find out. Bingo! There it is! Rotom is the Pokemon that I was looking for. Rotom is pretty darn special because it can actually transform into, I want to say, 5 forms other than this one. However, we're not going to have access to those for a while, but when we get access to them, I do plan on showing them off in at least some capacity. But anyway, Magnezone actually got defeated by a Magneton earlier, because the darn thing had Magnet Ball, so I can't paralyze this thing, so we're just gonna have to go straight to catching it. There we go, Rotom was caught. This thing has quite a low catch rate, so I'm not surprised that took me quite a while. Its electric-like body can enter some kinds of machines and take control in order to make mischief. Very cool, I like this Pokemon. Also, obvious pun is obvious. Its name is Motor, spelled backwards. Yeah, I just blew some of your guys' minds, didn't I? Anyway, that is actually the last Pokemon I wanted to catch in this area, so let's dig right on back out and we'll reconvene in Mistralton City. Alrighty, here we are in Mistralton City. Gonna run in here and heal real quick because we actually took a decent beating in that cave. Mainly thanks to the Magneton with Magnet Pull keeping my Magnezone in play. Man, that was frustrating. Anyhow, let's heal up our Pokemon and then I think we're squared off to end things off here. So, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we caught 17 Pokemon. Those being Cofagrigus, Tortuga, Archen, Lileep, Anorith, Aerodactyl, Darmanitan, Ammonite, Cranidos, Shieldon, Dino, Lairon, Golbat, Nosepass, Tynamo, Heatmore, and Rotom. And next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we are going to be heading off to the last couple of areas that I want to be catching Pokemon in before we continue on with our adventure. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.